Picture this. You sit through a 2-day critical thinking workshop. There are way too many slides, way too many buzzwords, and at least 3 people asking way too many questions. You walk out with a certificate, a workbook that you're never going to open again, and pretty much the exact same thinking habits you walked in with. If that sounds familiar, this episode is for you. I'm Robert Folker, and this is the Folker Lab Podcast. Today, we're talking about why one-time training almost never fixes your thinking and what actually does. And since you're listening to this on the day the Mind Master coaching app launches, I'm also going to show you how we built Mind Master around the real way people improve their thinking, not the fantasy conference room version. Let's start with an uncomfortable truth. Most of us have been lied to about how thinking skills work. We've been sold this idea that critical thinking is a box you check. You attend a course, you get the slides, you do a group exercise with sticky notes, you survive the role play, and then everyone smiles and says, "Great, we're critical thinkers now." If that were true, half the organizations on the planet would be unstoppable by now. They are very clearly not. Here's the real problem. Critical thinking isn't a knowledge problem. It's a habit problem. You don't suddenly start spotting your own assumptions or challenging your first answer just because someone explained in a PowerPoint what an assumption is. It's like going to a one-day fitness seminar, watching someone else do push-ups, and then saying, "Cool, I've acquired muscles." No, you haven't. You've acquired guilt and maybe a free t-shirt. Most people walk out of those courses and go right back to the same patterns. Snap judgments, overconfidence in the first story that feels good, cherry-picking evidence that makes them look smart in front of the boss. Not because they're dumb, not because they're lazy, but because the environment and their habits are stronger than the memory of that class. So, if the one-off training doesn't move the needle much, what does? If you look at any high-performance field, sports, music, combat, chess, nobody says, "I did a 2-day workshop 10 years ago, so I'm all set." They don't point to a certificate. They point to practice. They have regular practice. They have drills. They have coaching. They get feedback. And they have some way of seeing whether they're actually getting better over time. Thinking is no different. We just pretend it is. Because thoughts happen inside our heads, and it's really easy to call it experience and move on. To genuinely upgrade your thinking, you need exposure to better patterns and tools. You need reps actually using those tools on real problems, not just fake classroom scenarios. You need feedback, someone or something saying, "Here's where your reasoning was solid, and here's where it was kinda held together with duct tape." And you need pressure. Doing that when it matters, not just when you're half awake in a training room. A single course can give you exposure. It almost never gives you enough reps, enough feedback, or enough pressure to change your habits. That's where ongoing coaching comes in. You need something that keeps nudging your brain day after day to do the harder thing. Slow down when you want to speed up. Ask the extra question when you want to move on. Check for alternative explanations when your favorite story feels so satisfying. Stress test your pet idea before reality does it for you. And that is exactly the problem Mind Master is built to solve. Instead of being another one-time event, it gives you repeated, structured practice and feedback over time. But before I pitch you anything, I want you to figure out where you are in this whole journey, because not everyone listening is starting from the same place. I want you to listen for which of these 4 thinking characters sounds most like you right now. The first one is what I'll call the unaware. This is the person who doesn't think they have a thinking problem at all. They say, "Look, I've got experience. I trust my gut. It's worked pretty well so far." Translation: I have no idea how many times my gut has been wrong because no one kept score. If this is you, you might make really quick calls and move on. You might get annoyed when people overcomplicate things. You might be feeling a tiny bit personally attacked by this episode right now. And here's the catch. When you don't see your own patterns, all your mistakes look like bad luck or other people's fault. You're unaware, not because you're incapable. You're unaware because no one's ever shown you how to look at your own thinking from the outside. If you're in that group, your first step is just admitting, okay, maybe my brain is not the infallible superhero I've been pretending it is. Mind Master is going to help you see that, gently but firmly. You'll go through a scenario and realize, oh, I jumped to conclusions a lot. The second character is the aware but not acting crowd. This is the person who knows their thinking could be sharper, but life is busy and noisy. They've read the articles. They've saved a few threads about avoiding cognitive bias. They maybe even bought a book, and then nothing happened. This person says, yeah, I've been going to do that course when work slows down, or I've got a stack of books on this, or I just need a weekend to really focus. And that magical weekend never arrives. If that's you, you're not resisting the idea of better thinking, you're resisting the friction. Long courses, boring content, big time commitments. You need something that fits into the cracks of your day, something you can stick with. That's why Mind Master is built around short, focused sessions instead of giant, life-interrupting events. You can do a session while you're drinking coffee or between meetings and still get a real mental workout. The third character is the actively searching group. These are my people who are already convinced and are hunting for something better. You've tried books, online courses, you've listened to podcasts like this one, and at some point you've thought, okay, but how do I actually practice this? Where are the reps? You're hungry for concrete methods, real drills, honest feedback, and something more demanding than inspirational posts with light bulb icons. You probably spot weak arguments and bad analysis around you all the time. And you also know you have your own soft spots. If that's you, you need a structured way to put your own thinking under stress. You want something that helps you see your bias, weigh conflicting evidence, consider alternative explanations, and then shows you in plain language where your reasoning broke down. Mind Master is built for that. You walk through scenarios, you make your calls, you explain your reasoning, and then the app breaks it down for you. It's like having a coach who doesn't care about your ego, only whether you're getting sharper. And then we've got the fourth character, the ready now crowd. These are the people who are already yelling at their phone right now, Robert, stop talking and give me the link. You're past the debate. You've seen enough bad decisions in your organization, in government, in your own life, to know that better thinking is not optional anymore. For you, the question isn't, do I need this? It's, will this actually push me? Will it respect my intelligence? And will it fit around the chaos I already have going on? If that's where you are, then today is your day. Because as of this episode going live, Mind Master is out in the world. It's not a one-time course, it's a coaching system for your brain. Short, regular sessions. Real, messy scenarios. Feedback on how you reasoned. Not just whether your final answer matched some model. And a way to see your progress over time, so you're not guessing whether you're getting better. You can tell. Think of it as a gym membership your critical thinking has been avoiding. Let me zoom out for a second and connect all of this. Most organizations love one-time training because it's easy to document. Look, everyone attended Critical Thinking 101. Here are the sign-in sheets. We're done. The problem is, nobody tracks whether anything actually changed. Nobody is checking 3 months later if people are using the tools. Nobody is giving feedback when the same blind spots show up in briefing after briefing. And nobody builds it into the daily workflow, which is where the real decisions happen. A coaching model flips that. You're not trying to remember a framework from 3 years ago. You're applying tools this week on problems that matter to you. You're not guessing how you did. You're seeing a breakdown of your reasoning. You're not done after 2 days. You're building a habit over months. If you've ever watched someone get in shape, it wasn't because they bought a really nice book about push-ups. It was because they showed up consistently. Someone corrected their form when it was off, and over time, they took on more weight. Your thinking deserves that same treatment. Not because it's fun to beat yourself up, but because better thinking changes everything downstream. The decisions you make, the risks you see, the people you listen to, and the stories you fall for or refuse to fall for. That's exactly the gap MindMaster is here to close. So wherever you are on that spectrum, unaware, aware but not acting, actively searching, or ready now, here's what I want you to do. First, just be honest about which one you are. Say it to yourself. I'm the autopilot person. I'm the save threads, apply nothing person. I'm the give me reps person. Or I'm the shut up and give me access person. Just naming it is surprisingly powerful. Second, decide you're done pretending that a one-time course is going to magically fix your thinking. If you've already sat through those trainings and they didn't stick, you don't need another version of the same thing. You need regular reps and real feedback. And third, since this episode is dropping on launch day, go check out MindMaster. You can head to studio.com/Folker or the link in the comments. Get the app and start your first coaching path today. Pick one real decision or analysis you've got on your plate this week and run it through the app. Let it walk you through the questions and really pay attention to where your thinking wants to take shortcuts. The point of MindMaster isn't to give you more content to admire. It's to quietly change what you do in the real world. How you read intel, how you brief a boss, how you challenge a plan, how you decide what to believe when everyone sounds absolutely certain. If this episode made you just a little uncomfortable, that's good. That's your brain waking up. We're turning the autopilot off and putting you back in control of your thinking. Share this with a friend or colleague whose thinking you secretly wish was sharper. You can send it as a very polite hint. I'm Robert Folker. This is the Folker Lab Podcast. And as of today, we can stop pretending that checking the critical thinking training box is enough. Now you've got a way to train your mind like it matters. I'll see you inside MindMaster.